Namaskar. There was a request from a subscriber to record a video about depression. Depression is considered to be a plague of 21st century. In this comfortable age of ours, many people suffer from this condition. Apparently over 300 million people have symptoms of depression. And I think this statistics is underestimated because not everybody who has a depression will say, "Hello, I'm here, I'm a depressed person." Most of the time this condition goes unnoticed. Person tries to live a normal life, but there is no happiness, there is no juice, there is no living in that life. So why do we suffer from this situation? Why do we suffer from this mental condition? And actually not depression, there are many more diseases. My spiritual master many years ago, more than 30 years ago, he has said that with the development of so-called civilization, people will face more psychic disorders. There will be many more psychic ailments. Because when technology develops, when knowledge develops, human beings face many intellectual challenges and many challenges in the psychic realm. Actually, we moved from the physical realm to the psychic realm. We didn't notice, but it has happened. 100 years ago, we were laboring. Most of the humanity, 99%, they were doing some agricultural labor or military labor, whatever, but it wasn't really on the physical plane. It was not psychic at all. There was no education. There was no psychic. The knowledge was not available. The books were not available. And now we have moved. The machines, the tractors, they have moved us away. We are not doing anymore. We are not weeding the crops. We have moved. We have become more psychic. And nowadays the thinking machines, the intelligent machines, they are removing us from the intellectual sphere also. And we will have to move towards the intuitional sphere. It is estimated that within 2 years, many professions will disappear and many professions will appear. And now what is necessary, instead of hard skills, we need to develop soft skills, creativity, intuition, the ability to adapt to the changing circumstances. So this is our situation. We have moved from the physical sphere to the psychic sphere, and we are moving towards the spiritual sphere. Of course, we are also changing. It's not that civilization is moving somewhere, but I'm stand still. It's not possible. Civilization will move, I will also move. So due to those challenges, due to the changes in the environment, we are also changing. And our spirituality slowly develops. And we are not anymore physical beings, we are psychic beings and we are spiritual beings. But we still treat ourselves as physical beings. I was reading some articles on depression, and surprisingly, but people think that depression is just simply hormonal imbalance. And the treatment of the depression is the treatment of that hormonal imbalance. Serotonin, dopamine, noradrenaline. Take the medication, get the hormones, feel better. But it's just like plastering with the wallpapers. You are hiding the big hole in the wall of your house. Because the reason for the depression is not on the physical level. It is on the psychic level, on the spiritual level. But till now, we are not recognizing those needs. If you want to maintain a proper health of an organism, you must understand the nature of the organism. If you don't understand the nature, forget it. The plant which you are growing will get sick and will die. there is a plant from a desert area, and instead of giving so much sun and little water, you are giving so much water and little sun. What will happen to the plant? The plant will die. So you are psychic being, you are spiritual being, but you treat yourself as a physical being. What will happen? You will get sick. So this is what is happening to us. And a big percentage of humanity, 300 million people, they suffer. I myself, I was suffering from a very severe form of depression. When I was 18 years old, I was just feeling that there is no meaning in life. I don't want to live. I don't want to live. I want to die right now. And the people, the adults, the parents, mother and father and grandmother and sister and everybody, they were saying, oh, come on, you have everything right. Why you are studying in a good university, you will get a diploma, you will get a good job. No, you will find a family. And I was thinking, oh, I don't want. Even if you give me all those things that you are ready to struggle for right now, it will not make me happier. But what I want, I do not know. Why I'm suffering, I don't understand. Then what happened? I learned meditation. Then I start to meditate, then I start to follow the yogic lifestyle. Within 3 weeks, I think this condition has disappeared, never to come again. Recently, with my friend, we were laughing and joking, and I was saying, hey, come on, I think I'm in depression. You have to check. He said, okay, Dada, I'm going to check now. And he found in internet some tests, some questionnaire, and he started to ask me questions. Do you experience this and this and this? Then I say, never. He said, Dada, there is no never here. It is rarely, sometimes, all the time. I say, but I never experience. He said, but there is no such option as never. You have to choose something. I say, okay, rarely. So then finally we found out that I'm not actually depressed. But I was depressed. So what happened? I think I found something that fulfills my innermost needs. And that fulfillment of the innermost needs has cured me. So this is a very, very peculiar condition of the 21st century. We have developed, we have deeper needs, but the world is still behind. World is still thinking, no, the human being is a physical being, is an animal, and tries to provide an animal with all the proper care for the animal. Nutrition, medication, so on and so on and so on, but nothing works. So today, to become well, first of all, we have to recognize our nature. What is our nature? And understanding our nature, we have to move ahead. With the introspection, you will find that there are 4 innermost needs in your soul, in your mind. The need for expansion, need for progress, the need for love, need for harmony, need for feeling the wave, moving in unison with the cosmic wave. That I am not simply a small isolated being. I move in harmony with the entire universe. Then need to serve, need to be useful to others. And then there is a need to merge with the unbroken flow of peace. Need for profound, complete, absolute peace. So these are the 4 needs of the human being. Let me tell little more in details. There is a need for progress. There is a need for expansion. If I don't feel that I am moving somewhere, I will get depressed. Whatever my condition, I may swim in the gold, but still, if there is no feeling of the inner progress. I know it. Subconsciously I know it, that I am not moving anywhere. I become depressed because this is my need. This is very important for me. And misguided, we think, I want to expand. So I divert the desire for expansion into the physical realm. I want to have more money, more power, more name, more fame. But acquiring all those things, I'm not still feeling satisfied. I feel that my life has become stagnant. I read recently an interview of one famous actor. Very, very sad. He has become very rich, very famous, but very, very sad. So he is sitting and drinking alcohol. Killing his days. Very, very sad story. So external achievements, they don't satisfy the need for inner expansion. And how to expand? As you think, so you become. If you think about expanded ideas, if you think about infinity, you will expand. If you think small, if you place yourself in a very selfish world, I live for myself, I live for my little person, the mind has no chance to expand. But if you think bigger, you think historically, you think for humanity, you think like that, then you will be happy. Or the easiest way, the simplest way to expand your mind is to do meditation. Because in meditation, you sit, you close your eyes, and you ideate the infinite idea, the idea of consciousness. And it is a beautiful thing that when you open your eyes, you know that the world is same, but you have changed. And you see the world with the different eyes. This is the beauty of meditation. There will be no repetition of your days. There will be no feeling that I'm living this day over and over and over again. There will be feeling of this novelty. Every day is new. I experience the wonder of this ever new. The God, the Supreme Consciousness, in Sanskrit, one of the name for God is Abhinava. Abhinava means ever new. And it is an interesting thing that, every experience, we get bored. You experience something, you love something, but after some time, you feel, oh, it's okay, it's enough of it. I don't want it anymore. But with the spirituality, it's very different. If you experience even a little bit of spiritual realm, every second is new. It cannot be repeated. And you can never get bored from the spiritual experience. So the simplest way to fulfill this need is to simply do meditation. And then think bigger. Think that you have a mission in your life, and then you have to leave the imprint in the human history, in the human society. Think bigger and bigger. What can I do? What can I do more? Let's say, if I die, then what will be my heritage? What do I want to leave behind? Is it that I live my life that I live and eat and die? Or I want to leave something behind? So that is the greatness. It is said that Brihadechanam pranidhanam cha dharma. To search for greatness, to establish yourself in greatness, take shelter in the greatness, is human nature. The next one, it comes from expansion. When the mind expands, you start to feel the will of the universal consciousness. You start to feel that, yes, I am a small human being, but I have a very important role to play in the history. Maybe it is just a sweeping the floor, but I'm not sweeping the floor. I'm actually saving the humanity. It is a part of the bigger picture. So when you feel isolated, when you feel small, it is against your nature, because our nature is spiritual. Our nature is consciousness. So consciousness is one, it is unity. And to be isolated, to be small, is unnatural. So once you start to feel this unity, when you feel this, you are moving in unison, you are coinciding with the cosmic wave, it gives you a special sense of inner bliss. It's fantastic, actually. I remember one time I need to do my job. I need to teach someone meditation. But to teach that person meditation, I had to sit in the bus for 12 hours and drive across the border of the country and go to the different city. But I thought, well, this will change the life of that person. Let me go. But of course there was this resistance in my mind. I thought, oh, is it only one person? Why should I go? Maybe this person will not continue with his meditation. So there was a struggle inside. The mean portion of myself and noble portion of myself. Struggling, fighting. So due to that fight, the expansion occurs in the mind. So the noble portion wins. And I sit in the bus. So when sitting in the bus, at one moment I felt a very interesting state of bliss. There was a stop. I came outside, and there was a sunset, and it was so extremely beautiful. Everything was in a proper place. Even the mosquitoes, they were part of that cosmic harmony. And I just felt that sitting in this bus is just like the best place in the universe. I just felt I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to do. It's just when you find your destiny, when you find your meaning, this is the feeling you get. So find your meaning. Don't get satisfied with just earning the money. You have to find the meaning, something meaningful that you do. And then the third is that when you do something meaningful, you are feeling useful to others. This feeling of usefulness is very important. If you made your life in such a way that you need nobody and nobody needs you, unconsciously you know it. You know that you have become a meaningless person. Your life is meaningless. And so there is no meaning. You cannot cheat the nature. You have to be for others. Only then you will feel happy. This is how we are. This is how we made. And this is our transpersonal nature. From personal to transpersonal. Personally, we are very small. But transpersonal means we have overcome the borders of the personality. And other people's interests have become our interests. That means the consciousness has expanded. When I live only with the needs of this little body, means there is the zero expansion of consciousness, zero usefulness. You work only because you need to earn, but you don't radiate from your inner heart. You don't radiate this giving. You want to give something. So cultivating the habit of serving others is also very important for psychic health. Be useful. Be useful. Try to be useful. Even you give one apple to somebody, go to the city, and if you give, you're useful for that person. And then there is a fourth one, the desire for infinite peace. When you cultivate these three, the expansion of the mind, the harmony with the cosmic wave, and serving to others, then you establish yourself in the profound peace. You will have this inner sense of peace. Just like my grandmother. She was, she was a religious person. I cannot say she was educated, but she was a very good person. And when dying, she was very, very peaceful. Her entire life she was trying to serve other people. She made the meaning of her life is to help others. So that is the feeling. You establish yourself in peace. So depression comes when we ignore our nature. And our innermost nature is the spiritual nature. The entire code of spiritual practices is to cultivate this spiritual nature. In my own experience, I say that my condition, my depression has disappeared and now I don't understand why I was depressed. I don't understand at all, because there is no reason. The world is beautiful, it's fantastic. So try to change your habits, try to change your lifestyle, and most importantly, try to change the goal of life. What is the meaning of your life? Try to do something to expand your consciousness. Try to find the mission in your life. Thank you very much. Namaskar.